Have the last light, which is now Manfrotto gray card, like always. And just doing a short video because I'm about to drop off the SMALLHD Ultra 5 back to Lens Pro to Go. I never really do these types of videos, but I was inspired. This is a 2-camera like interview video. So we have the FX3 in front of me with a SMALLHD Ultra on top of a Sound Devices MixPre 3 on top of a FX6 with a GENTREE battery in the back mounted to a tilter, providing power to FX6, MixPre 3, and the SMALLHD Ultra all-day power. I also have the Sennheider HD25, I believe. So I use the SMALLHD Ultra for the EL zone. I just like the EL zone. It makes sense to me coming from a photographer background. 18% gray is very standardized, and the EL zone on the SMALLHD is very easy to use. It uses a thing called pipe. So you make sure that you have your pipe, in this case, to the Sony FX6, the S-Log3 S-Cinetone 3. I use the headset just to base everything and then periodically check to make sure that the audio is sounding good. Normally I wouldn't have it on like this, but just letting the audio people know that I do have this on the right side, but the cord is flipping everywhere. But the reason why I like this headset is that the left side moves out of the way, which is sort of cool. Plus it's a lot less weight. So this audio sounds great. What came in from B&H today, which we are using, I say we, you and I. This is the original timecode cable that you would need to get timecode to the FX3 or the FX30. This piece is what you would buy from Sony. This would plug into the side of the FX3 or FX30. Then from TENTACLE, you would buy this cable, which is the same kind of cable you can plug directly into the FX6, which one of the many reasons why I love the FX6. So this is almost like this is an adapter that allows timecode to go into the FX3 and FX30. TENTACLE, which would have been great to have during the B&H 50th Anniversary Build Expo, released this TENTACLE Sync general adapter, the timecode to micro USB for Sony FX3 and FX30, which we do have. Instead of having this long, giant cable that you have to do something with. Long cable. I love having that SMALLHD on top. Long cable. Much shorter cable, which I was able to mount on the FX3, which will go. This is the setup that I have on the FX6, but the setup I have on the FX3, I moved the timecode to the bottom of the Condo Blue, which gave me a little slack. I did verify that we have timecode, and I have it going to the side of the FX3 cage by Condo Blue, quick release. The Condo Blue quick release TENTACLE Sync E. I think they call it cage or something, but like that. It's like a cage. And that is going to the side of the FX3, which 100% works. I tested it before I came. I bought 4 of them because I know they're going to sell out. Much more manageable than this giant cable, which I always hated. The NISI C5 is really nice. It's very lightweight. We have a neutral density filter, variable neutral density, 1 through 5, along with another filter. I think it's a black mist. Hopefully it looks nice. And the power edge by core gives me all the power. Right now at 91%, we have 6 hours and 46 minutes. So like I mentioned on the FX6, I have the Tilter version 2 V-mount backplate, which allows me to keep the Sony battery in, and the V-mount battery supplies power to the FX6, keeps the battery topped off, small HD, and the sound devices, all because I'm using a 390, I believe, watt, 24 amp V-mount battery by South Korean company. Met them at NAB. Very nice people, solid battery, lasted me each day, never had an issue with power. The FX3, which was my A camera at previous trade shows, got moved down to B camera because of the FX6. For those that are on the fence between the FX6 and the FX3, if you have the money, the FX6 is, for me, with having direct time code, with the built-in neutral density filter. From the FX6 to Small HD is SDI. And also, if I wanted to have a Ninja on top, the Small HD does do a pass-through. So I would be able to record video from the Small HD, through the Small HD Ultra to the Ninja if I wanted to. But this is my Gitsu tripod, which I really like. Lightweight, solid as a rock, lightweight. If I was taking this out and about, like hiking, I would take this one. I consider the YC Onion one a cinema tripod. It weighs a little bit, and it was perfect for me because, so the handle on the side of the YC Onion allowed me to hook it onto the rolling interview stand, which allowed me to carry it, and then I would have the quick release on the FX3, so I can go from the FX3 that was mounted on the rolling stand quickly to the YC Onion tripod. So that was very handy. I used the YC Onion FH75 on the YC Onion monopod, but this camera, I 100% would love to own one, and I'll put this down below. You need the power, and with me, the rolling interview stand, I needed all-day power. I don't have a place to go to, so this 22 amp, 390 size GENTREE battery from South Korea powered the FX6 Mix Pre-3 and the Anton, the Small HD Ultra all day. And I was recording with the FX6 primarily as the primary camera. TENTACLE Sync E, providing time code to the FX6 directly to the time code cable, which is another reason why I like the FX6. This has one of the things that's cool about the TENTACLE system is it has an app. The app allows you to see all of the time codes, which I did do a screen capture with this. So the thing that I noticed was I didn't have, and I have everything, and I also have everything labeled. So on the label, I have a track E, which I have recording me, Mix Pre-3, time code 29.97, Rode Wireless Pro, which is this audio here, FX6 time code, FX3 time code. So we have technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 time codes, hopefully all syncing correctly at 29.97. We have Wireless Pro audio being recorded 32-bit directly. I don't have it plugged into the FX3 because I have the TENTACLE Sync E plugged in so I can monitor time code. The FX6 has a Sony mic on top, directly wireless audio, digital wireless audio going directly into the FX6, outputting through output 1 into the MixPre 3. And the FX30 just has the little Sony boom mic on it, digital mic. This was the A camera setup during the B&H Build Expo, FX6, with everything as you see. 2 TENTACLE Sync E's providing time code to the FX6 and to the MixPre 3. Being powered by a GENTREE 22 amp battery, 390. Mounted on a Tilta version 2 V-mount backplate with the rail system on top. I got the short ones, I think they're 4 inches. Allow me to have stuff up here. We use the Sony 160 Type A card. I like to have in the monitor. The Sony 12 to 24G was perfect for close-up interviews. Sony UWP Dual on top. The SMALLHD, I have that rented because of the EL Zone system, which is phenomenal. Coming from a photography background, the EL Zone was extremely helpful. Been using the MixPre 3 for about a year or so now. Love it. 3 XLR inputs. I upgraded to the noise assist. So pretty much this was the, well, not pretty much, this was the A camera during the B&H Build Expo. Loved it. The cable management's a little sloppy now, but I'm just showing just for the sake of this video. And the headset is very lightweight. Now for the B camera, which was mounted on the YC Onion tripod. Not this tripod, it was mounted on the YC Onion. FX3 24mm lens. I didn't use the tilter because I was inside, but I wanted to use it out here because I'm at wide open 1.4. And this is Rode Wireless Pro to the attached to the TENTACLE Sync E. This is the master timecode generator, outputting timecode to the TENTACLE Track E, which was red when I first hooked it up. And once it receives timecode, it's green, so that's very helpful. The Power Edge by Core powers up the battery, keeps the camera FX3 and the other cameras I have fully powered throughout the whole day. Once again, I do use the Sony inside of the camera. I do use the Sony batteries inside. I did show you the new TENTACLE cable, which was very short. Love it. Highly recommended if you are using the FX3, FX30. Order them. I ordered 4 just to have 2 backups. I have the Condo Blue cage, FX3, FX30 cage, along with the TENTACLE Caddy, I believe they call it. Very handy. Quick release, in and out. I learned about I got to play with the NISI C5 when I went to Syne Expo LA. I went by they don't really call it a showroom, but they have their headquarters is in LA. So I fell in love with those. And this is just my trusty Gitsu GT3542 with the nice little cinema head. And that should be it. And I just have this little Sony on for scratch disc audio. So this was my, minus the C5, but I'm outside. This was the B camera, which was pretty much primarily the camera I used for close-ups on top of the YC Onion. But I did use this YC Onion during the Build Expo to get myself into position. Now, I did have the FX3 on top of this, but this is my A camera, and if I was out and about recording video, I would be using this too. So we're going to point this at there's my car. It's a 2015 Golf R. Had some enhancements. You can go pretty quickly. So we're just going to hopefully gracefully bring this down. There's a handle here, so you have to really trust that the plate is going to keep the camera so nothing goes flying off. I felt pretty comfortable yesterday when I was in a parking garage, but the key is holding it up because it will immediately come down. And one tip I guess I can give you is these little metal pieces that allow the legs to move in and out. So if you want to get low, you can get very low. How low can you go? Now, you don't want to be out this wide. But I'm going to bring it back up because lesson learned, I have to get used to this. And I also have mics on my chest. So I think if you want to go low, you should probably go all the way down, lock them in, and then hold the handle. You have to make sure these little locking devices are out so you can bring the legs out. I have the little feet on the bottom, so if you're on a flat surface and you basically go up, I can hear them locking. And now we are very low. So if I want to turn this around so I can see, I have to bring this small HD back. So we have a low camera angle, which is sort of cool. So if you're filming sports and such, this can go really small. Slow pan. Hello. Lady's walking by, doesn't want to leave. No problem. Be nice if this was a touchscreen. Technically it is. So this is low. So you're filming, let's say, a sporting event or a power shot of your Volkswagen. your Volkswagen R 2015. So it's pretty snappy, to be honest with you. It's not $1 million cinema head, but it's good enough for me at the moment. And then you want to get going. So the legs are locked in. Now you have to make sure that you tighten so it doesn't rotate. Solid. And then from the bound down position, you have to take off the tension a little bit. I'm not the most graceful person at this. I don't think you would typically do this with the camera mounted. Okay, for somebody that doesn't normally do that, hopefully that didn't look too bad. And everything locked back in. Camera is not trashed. I want to get the right side down a little bit because it's a little tilty. And that's one of the reasons why I love this. It's very fast. So that was up and down, hopefully graceful enough. There's my Golf R again. Okay, so we have FX6 hopefully focusing on my face. FX3 over there, hopefully focusing on my face or the back of the camera. Two camera setup out on location. Took me about 10 minutes to get ready. We have 2 tripods. One's by YC Onion, very quick. Other one's a Gitsu, also quick. And we have neutral density available in the FX6 natively. And I have a C5 NISI box on the FX3 with the 24mm lens. So if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. And like always, hopefully you have a good gray card balance.